Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Its-A-Mii here. Today we are doing another pickups video. I wanted to do another one in October before we get to the end of the month where I go over all of the new releases that have come out that I've picked up, because I have kind of a backlog of stuff I bought over the past several months that I still need to show in a video. So I wanted to go and kind of catch up a little bit on that. So we have a nice stack of Switch games here. I actually just got a nice order from Video Games Plus so some nice reprints in there. I do have some DS stuff as well as a major 3DS heavy hitter. We got a GameCube game in here, a Wii U game I've been tracking down for literally years at this point, and then also this bad boy came in, Metaphor ReFantazio. What an incredible game. So we're talking about all that today and more. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo collecting, content coverage, all that fun stuff, I would appreciate you subscribing. Let's get into it. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the channel. I hope your day is treating you well. We'll start off with Switch stuff, as always, then we'll move into some more retro stuff, and also we'll talk about Metaphor ReFantazio. I mentioned in an unboxing a couple days ago I was going to do an unboxing of the Metaphor ReFantazio Special Edition. That did not happen. I think what I'm going to do is, after I beat the game later this year, because it's currently on hold because so much stuff is coming out, but after I finish Metaphor, I think I'll do a full review of the game or something, maybe honestly, probably in December. It's going to take a while for me to get there now. But we'll start with the Switch stuff here, and then we'll move through and kind of get to the older games here. So like I said, a ton of stuff from VGP that I ordered, I think in early September came. So very happy to finally get all of this stuff in. Starting off here, we have Valkyria Chronicles 4. Now, this one is funny because limited run, literally the day my copy of this came in, announced that they're doing a reprint of it with all of the DLC on cartridge. I've never played a Valkyria Chronicles game. I've always been interested in the series. I missed the pre-order for the first game because they did a physical for that back in August, I think, on LRG. But yeah, they're reprinting Valkyria Chronicles 4 with all of the DLC on cartridge. The box art is basically the same, except it has a like a more wintry kind of blue vibe going on. I've heard great things about these games. I think I will like them whenever I get the time to play them. But I did think it was funny that literally the day my copy came in, LRG announced a reprint with all the DLC on cartridge. They've been doing that a lot recently, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It's good that these games are having like more complete versions available, but also, I don't know. It's a little frustrating. Like, I know people are upset that they're redoing the Yakuza games on PS4 when those games already have physicals, but then also it does make sense. You want to give PS4 collectors the opportunity to have that. So I guess overall it's a net positive, but it can be kind of annoying if you already bought one version of the game and now it's like, okay, well, if I want the complete version, I gotta buy it again. But that was the first game from VGP. Another one here that I picked up, Nexomon plus Nexomon Extinction Complete Collection. Here's the thing with me. I play my Pokemon. I play my Shin Megami Tensei even, which, you know, is a monster catcher. I played my Dragon Quest Monsters last year. I really enjoyed that game. I don't have much experience with, like, the weirder monster catching games. I've never really played a Digimon game. I've never played, Temtem or anything like that. So Nexomon is one that I've been intrigued by over the past couple of years. It looks really high quality. I like the designs. I like the graphics and the art direction. But it's a Pokemon clone, and this is 2 games in one package. I think you can get these standalone as well, but I decided to pick up this one from P-Cube here. It was pretty cheap. This one I'm really excited to get to. If you follow my channel closely, you know I loved Famicom Detective Club Its-A-Mii the Smiling Man earlier this year. I adored that game. And the developers of that, Mages, actually have another visual novel on Switch. One that I've heard very good things about, but frankly know very little about, and that is Steins Gate's Elite. So Steins Gate is an anime, I think, right? Like, Steins Gate is a popular anime, but this is a visual novel based on it, I think. I could be mistaken, but this is one that as soon as I found out the developers of Its-A-Mii the Smiling Man, as soon as I found out they were behind it, I immediately wanted to order it. So excited to play through that. Not sure when I'll have time to with all of these great games coming out, new releases wise, but got that one in here. Decided to add this to the order because I think I needed to hit free shipping or something, and also I want this anyway. Monster Hunter Stories 1. This is the Japanese release, so on the spine here you can see it is in Japanese, but in America they didn't release this game physically. They kind of did. In America, they did that collection that includes Monster Hunter Stories 2 as a download code. So you can get an ASRP like cartridge of this game, but I wanted to have like the standalone cover art. I also don't really want to re-buy Monster Hunter Stories 2. If I see that one sale for like $20, maybe I would pick it up again or something just to have like an English copy of it. But decided to pick up that. That was like $20, I think. And Monster Hunter Stories is one that I specifically never played on 3DS because around the time that I was like, okay, I really want to play Monster Hunter Stories, Monster Hunter Stories 2 got announced and came out, and I played a little bit of that game. I really enjoyed what I played of that, so I guess that's another kind of monster catching game I played. But I kind of figured, like, okay, there's a iOS HD port of Monster Hunter Stories 1 they'll probably bring the first game to Switch eventually, and it took a couple of years, but that finally happened. So I'm excited to get into that eventually, and try out that and kind of maybe get through that, and then go back to Monster Hunter Stories 2 because I never finished that game. But yeah, definitely happy that Monster Hunter Stories came to Switch. Here's one that you guys were going crazy about in the comments. This one got a reprint through VGP, Signalis. So this is a PS1 themed like Resident Evil kind of ode to Resident Evil, the OG Resident Evils. It is a sci-fi horror game in that vein that I've heard nothing but good things about. You guys were going crazy about it, like I said, because for a little bit there, this was very expensive, and I figured it's perfect timing with Halloween here. So maybe I'll pop this in on Halloween, play through it a little bit, and do it that way. But yeah, you guys are saying in my comments like this is an incredible horror sci-fi game. So very eager to check this one out. It's a game I really hadn't heard anything about until you guys started commenting about it. Like I knew of its existence, but I didn't really know what it was or that it was that good apparently. So excited to check out that. And I realize I might be retreading a little ground from that reprint video I posted last week, but same thing here. We have AI the Somnium Files. This also got reprinted. I talked about it in that video. I have the second one of this, and I started it, but very early on they start asking you questions like, did you play the first one? Do you know what's going on? And it became immediately clear like, oh, I shouldn't play the second one until I play through the first game. This is a kind of visual novel-esque game, or like an adventure gamey, very story-heavy, narrative-based game. I believe it's by the original creator of the Zero Escape series, and I love 999, so this is one that I've always been eager to get, and for a while there it was pretty expensive, but VGP did thankfully do a reprint, so I picked up that. Excited to get through that eventually. And then we have a few random indie games here. Red Art Games was doing a sale on that website, so I figured, you know what, I'll go ahead and check out some little indie games here that's, I feel bad. Aside from like the major stuff like Balatro and Hades, over the past couple of years, Vampire Survivors, over the past couple of years, I've really been not in tune with like the indie scene. I feel bad about that. I played a little Dave the Diver a couple months ago, but I want to get back on that, play some more niche stuff. I feel like, early Switch, 2017, 2018, I was all over it. I was playing like every indie game that came out, any high quality looking indie game. But over the years, I've really just lost touch with that because it feels like there's just too much coming out. So I picked up a couple things from them. First up here, we have Metalloid Origin. I had never even heard of this one. It says here on the back of the box, traverse forests, deserts, caves, and snowfields to stop the invaders before they drain the planet's resources and fuel a galactic war. From what I saw from the trailer, I watched a quick trailer before I bought it, obviously. This looks very Mega Man inspired with some great pixel art, some nice Mega Man style gameplay. So that one intrigued me. That was like, I think $15. I think that was the price of all three of these, actually. I might be wrong about that. Next up is a game actually I played a little bit of, Vernal Edge here. I had someone in my Discord server like a year ago who I guess was friends with the developer, and they got me a code for it, so shout out to them. But yeah, Vernal Edge came out, I think, last year, maybe late 2022. But it says here, Vernal Edge is a 2D action-packed Metroidvania featuring an intense combat system. Help Vernal get her revenge once and for all. And from what I played of it, the pixel art in this game is beautiful. The combat is really fast and fluid. It just feels very good to play, and the Metroidvania elements are good as well. So that's what I wanted to get physically. And then final one there from the indie games here is Nuclear Blaze. It says here, the world is burning. Well, not exactly, but the whole region is. As a trained firefighter, you're being airdropped right in the middle of this hellblaze to investigate and look for survivors, but the unexpected presence of an unknown military facility might somewhat affect your plans. And this is like a firefighter game. It's like a 2D firefighter game where you put out fires and stuff. Just from the little bit I saw, so I thought this one looked kind of intriguing. This physical here also does include a keychain, it says, which is neat. I doubt I'll put the Nuclear Blaze keychain with my keys, but that's cool. Nice little freebie there. So that's everything from VGP. That was a big VGP order. I think it was actually 2 separate VGP orders that came in recently. And then final Switch game, this just came in this morning. I figured I would include it here. Woot, Amazon's Woot service. They have like a whole like discount website. They had this, I think, for 10 or 15, it actually looked pretty high quality, so I figured, why not? Loop 8, Summer of the Gods from Marvelous. It says here, relive your past to change your future, the lone survivor of a devastating attack on your home, and escape to the idyllic Japanese town of Ashihara. As your enemies regroup, forge powerful bonds, and hone your battle skills, you are humanity's last hope, but you can't save them alone. So obviously anime weeby style stuff here, but the gameplay looked pretty fun. Looks like there's actually like some nice turn-based combat here from the little bit I watched. So that was cheap. I figured I'd pick up that, try that out eventually. And that's it for Switch games. That's a decent amount of Switch games. That's a nice big order from VGP, and then that one very cheap game from Woots. I think next week I'll do another pickups video going over all of the new releases specifically from October, because good lord, there has been so much coming out this month, not just on Switch, but also on PS5, and I've been trying to keep up, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually like overwhelmed with how many great games are coming out. I know it'll already be out when I'm posting this, but like Romancing Saga 2 remake is about to come out, Sonic Shadow Generations just came out, we're getting East 10, like on top of all the stuff that came out earlier in the month, a lot of indie games that I picked up, like Balatro. So yeah, there's a ton of physical games that came out on Switch this month. I did a video at the beginning of October talking about just everything, basically, so go check out that, but I ended up buying more than I expected from the October release slate, so I think I'll do another pickups video next week going over all of that. But I will include a couple new things here that came out, including Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo. I did an unboxing video on this, kind of giving some early impressions. As you can see, it's behind me there on the shelf next to the Joy-Con stand that also came out this month. Alarmo, definitely a very niche product for hardcore Nintendo fans. It's cool to mess around with. I haven't really used it in bed because it doesn't really work in bed for me. Because I sleep next to my girlfriend, it just actually does not work. The IR tracker on it or whatever doesn't really seem to pick up when I actually get out of bed. So I haven't really been using it that way, but as a nice little backdrop piece on this side here, and it's having like the Nintendo ambient sounds playing, it's kind of nice when I walk into the room doing some editing at night, just hearing the Breath of the Wild chirps and all that playing behind me, or like the Pikmin noises, is kind of nice that way. It's more of like a desk piece for me, or like a backdrop piece. Using it in bed doesn't really work, but definitely a cool product, I will say. I mean, $100 is a little steep, I would say, but if you're a hardcore Nintendo fan, it's a cool piece of little weird Nintendo. It's a piece of Nintendo being weird, Nintendo's always doing weird stuff. Like every year there's like a weird item, like the Game & Watches or the Mario Kart Live thing or Labo or Ring Fit. This is like their weird thing this year, and it's cool. I like it, but also very niche. I would not recommend it unless you have the disposable income to just splurge on an alarm clock that just kind of looks nice, I guess. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Metaphor ReFantazio here. I know this is a Nintendo collecting channel, but you know what? I'm going to allow it. I'm going to talk about some PS5 games when the time is right. Metaphor has taken over my life. So I originally was not planning on buying the special edition. I bought like a standard copy of the game, and I played the demo, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I didn't even get it on release day. Like I was like, okay, I'm just going to see how this demo goes. I did not think I would have time to even attempt it, this year, because there's just so much stuff coming out, so much I want to cover on the YouTube channel. But I decided, you know what? For me, 2024 has kind of been a miss. I was talking to my friend Tucker about like all the games releasing and like our top 10 list of the year. And for me, my top 3 right now until playing Metaphor was probably like Famicom Detective Club, which I really love. I love that game. Astrobot and Echoes of Wisdom, and I don't even really feel that strongly about Echoes of Wisdom. And Astrobot's like really good, but I feel like it kind of doesn't have a lot of sauce. I don't know. Like I'm not happy that Astrobot is my number 2. I know that might sound crazy to some people. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play a game that I know I will love. And I started playing Metaphor, and I immediately bought a copy. And then I was like, okay, you know what? This game's actually really, really good. So GameStop had this in stock, and I mean, this special edition is absolutely beautiful. Of course, based off the fantasy book that the protagonist reads in the game. So yeah, picked up this. Very happy to have this. I might still do an unboxing, but honestly, I think I'll just wait and just do a proper review for you all. But I wanted to talk about it here because, man, this game has really taken over my life. I am currently, I believe, going into the 3rd dungeon, like the 3rd like main story dungeon section. I'm on like an island. It's called Virga Island, I believe. So I just started that section. However, I think I'm going to have to take a break because now Mario & Luigi Brothership's coming out, Call of Duty's coming out, which I know, it's always funny saying I'm a huge Call of Duty fan, but I'm a huge Call of Duty fan. I'm going to be playing the heck out of that all weekend long this week. So Metaphor, I think, has to sit on the back burner a little bit here, probably until after Dragon Quest, which I really don't want that to be the case, but I need to cover those games. I shouldn't say I need to. I want to cover those games. Whereas Metaphor is a game I already kind of missed the boat on in terms of covering at launch. So I think I'll play through Brothership, play through Dragon Quest 3, and then get back to Metaphor. And I think I'm at a good stopping point right now anyway to take a little bit of a break. I don't want to burn myself out too much. I was playing it like obsessively. Like I have like 30 hours in the game. Maybe 35 at this point. I was playing like just 10 hours a day. Like I got the game and I just obsessed over it. Any moment I wasn't working on YouTube stuff or doing something else, I was playing Metaphor. And I think the combat's great, the story's great, the music, oh my goodness, the music in Metaphor is absolutely fantastic. I really can't recommend it enough. Even as someone who doesn't really have that much experience with the Persona series, like I've played Persona 5 Real and I enjoyed what I played of it, like 20 hours or so. I still need to go back and finish that. Metaphor really takes it on a whole nother level for me. It feels like the perfect marriage of like everything from Shin Megami Tensei and everything from Persona really coming together, and the battle system, the kind of like active battle system you have in the field as well, where if you're over leveled, you can just take out enemies with like actual action combat, which is really unique. And yeah, I mean, this game is absolutely phenomenal. And until I play Rebirth, I can already safely say after 35 hours with Metaphor, this is my game of the year. It's not even close. I mean, like I said, Famicom Detective Club is very good. I love that game. But Metaphor v Fantasio is like, this is like an all-time RPG for me. Maybe I'm saying that a little early, right? Maybe I'll finish it and I'll hate the ending or something, or I'll hate the twists and turns that come up here in the near future in the story. But from everything I've played so far, which I believe is like maybe 1/3, maybe half of the game or so, I adore it. Cannot wait to play more. I will probably do a proper review once I roll credits, but that might be a few weeks, maybe even a month or so. So I guess stay tuned for that, but it'll be a little bit. Next up, let's talk about some older games here, some stuff we found at thrift shops, and also some stuff I bought off eBay over the past couple of months. Some of these I bought back in like July, and I just haven't shown in a video, so I figured now was the time to do that. But this one we actually just found at a Goodwill very recently. We very rarely find DS stuff, especially like complete DS games at our local thrift stores, but we did find this copy of Children of Mana, which is really cool, especially because I have, you can't see it, I think it's right there, it's that blue one. I have Heroes of Mana there. That was on sale, I think, like sealed. Maybe it was VGP actually last year, around Black Friday. They sold like a bunch of sealed Square Enix stuff, like I think it was that, as well as Valkyrie Profile, and then something else. I did not have Children of Mana though, so to find this is like a $30 DS game is very cool. I'm not too familiar with this one. It says, take up sword, flail, bow, and hammer, and strike back at the evil that corrupts the hearts of Mana. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is an awesome game to find while thrifting, especially just because finding DS stuff is not the most common. You know, you always find in PS3 and 360, maybe even some Wii in there, right? PS4 is pretty common now, Xbox One, but DS stuff, especially complete, because people would throw their boxes away, is always a nice treat to find, especially like a pretty cool RPG like this is. So yeah, happy to add this to the collection. I did also buy a couple of Nintendogs at DS games, so I was like, trying to think of like how I could frame this in a video. I'm not sure just yet, but I picked up a couple different versions of Nintendogs on DS. I've always been very curious about all the different versions because I think they just include like different breeds of dogs. And I actually didn't have any of the Nintendogs games on DS, so I picked up a couple versions here. We have Dachshund and Friends here.
Dachshund. Dachshund. Dachshund.
Please be nice to me in the comments. I knew this sounded wrong, but oh my goodness, what an awful way to pronounce this word. Which includes miniature Dachshund, golden retriever, beagle pug, Siberian husky, and what even is that? Shih Tzu? I don't know my dog breeds very well. I'm not familiar with that, but picked up that one. But then we also had the Dalmatian and Friends copy here, which apparently this one is part of the Touch Generations. The other one wasn't. This one says limited edition. I think this one came out later. Yeah, because this one has on the back here, it shows all of the original versions. So picked up this one as well. I guess the Dalmatians were like a new thing with this one, maybe. Includes Dalmatians, Boxers, German Shepherds. Yeah, so a little bit of overlap there. And then this one was really weird. I guess this was like, I think it was exclusive to a Nintendo DS bundle. I'd never seen it until I was doing some Nintendogs research, but Nintendogs Best Friends, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure this was like a packet. I've never seen this release of this before. So I don't know. I think it was a packet. Let me know in the comments down below if you are aware. But it says like, yeah, it says not for resale on the back here. So yeah, picked up 3 different versions of Nintendogs here to add to the collection. I've said this before, but my ultimate goal with collecting is basically just every first-party Nintendo game. Like, that is my ultimate goal. Just, I want to have every first-party Nintendo game in the collection because I love Nintendo. I love playing Nintendo games. Nintendogs is like, fine, whatever. I don't know how much I'll actually like go back and play these, but I want to have every first-party Nintendo game, and that includes all of the different variants of Nintendogs. This one needs cleaned from eBay. It's a dirty copy right there. I do have 2 cheaper complete in-box GBA games to show. So one of these I did not even realize Nintendo published, and that is Dynasty Warriors Advance. Yeah, Nintendo published this game for some reason. I'm not really sure why. This is a really weird one for me. Of course, Koei Tecmo, or Koei as it says on the box here, back before they merged, does the Dynasty Warriors series. For some reason, Dynasty Warriors Advance, Nintendo published. It says here, join the mighty Dynasty Warriors on their quest to conquer ancient China. I'm not sure why the first letter in each word there is yellow. But yeah, this is just a 2D top-down version, almost like Legacy of Goku looking graphics version of Dynasty Warriors on the Nintendo Game Boy Advance, which is really cool. And then yeah, Nintendo published it for some reason. That was like $25. I was like, that's cheap for a complete in-box GBA game. So added that to the GBA collection that is ever growing above my head here. You can see it a little bit there. So that's getting bigger. But then also another classic NES series game. Want to get all of these as well. Dr. Mario. This one was pretty cheap, and you know, going for these. I have Zelda 2. My girlfriend Olivia bought that for me for my birthday this year, maybe last year. And then I also have Donkey Kong I picked up earlier in the year. I need to get Super Mario Bros, Metroid, Zelda 1, Excite Bike, Ice Climber. There's still plenty of the classic NES series, but I actually grew up with those games. I grew up with like Donkey Kong on my GBA, which I think people always comment like, wow, I'm surprised you like old games because you're so young. I'm 24 years old. And I'm always like, yeah, well, I grew up with N64. I grew up playing NES games on my GBA. So like, I always had a deeper appreciation, I think, than a lot of like younger people these days. People my age usually will look at like a game like Donkey Kong on NES and be like, why would you want to play that? I freaking love NES Donkey Kong, man. I love playing those games and going back to them. That's why, like, NES World Championships, I actually got a lot of mileage out of because I grew up on those NES games. I really, really love playing games like that. So, yeah, I want to get all the classic NES series games on Game Boy Advance. And then finally here we have 3 more games to go through. 1 GameCube, 1 Wii U, and 1 major heavy hitter for the Nintendo 3DS. Starting off here, I got a good deal on this. I got the Ocarina of Time 2-game bonus disc, which includes the first release of Master Quest. This one was like $30 on Mercari. I think I might have had a coupon or something, but yeah, picked up this. I've actually never owned this because I had the Zelda Collector's Edition as a kid. I don't have it anymore. I need to pick up that again. But I never had this. I never had access to Master Quest because Master Quest wasn't in the Collector's Edition, I don't think, the like pre-order bonus for that, but picked up this for a pretty good price. Happy to add this to the GameCube collection. Also, look at all these logos on the back. It's kind of cool to see, like, I mean, that's just F-Zero, man. That just says F-Zero. And also, look at how small the the Four Swords Adventures logo is on the right there. That's a little funny. But yeah, nice to add another first-party kind of heavy hitter GameCube game to the GameCube collection. Then we get to a Wii U game. Man, oh man, I have been hunting this bad boy down forever. So I've talked about it in past pickups videos. Maybe not on this channel, maybe it was on the other one. But Dragon Quest X on Wii U has a ton of versions, and I'm going for a full Wii U set. Now, most people wouldn't count these because they are variants. However, I'm sick in the head, so I want to try and get every variant as well for these Dragon Quest games. There's also the Monster Hunter MMO in Japan. So let me actually grab all these real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, yeah, so Dragon Quest X being an MMO, you expect there to be expansions, right? So I'll just go through these really quick. Here is the first release of Dragon Quest X on the Wii U. Then we had Dragon Quest X version 2. Then from there, they released a version 3 as well. Then from there, they also did a all-in-one package that includes versions 1 and 2, and an all-in-one package that includes versions 1 through 3. And that's all I've been able to find as of very recently, until I just recently was able to pick up this one here, is Dragon Quest X 5,000 Years Faraway Journey or something like that. This one was very, very elusive to me. I could not find this one anywhere on the internet. I was looking on, Yahoo Auctions Japan. I was looking everywhere until finally one popped up on eBay very recently for like $20 free shipping. I immediately bought it. I was like, oh, no way. So now I have, 6 versions, 6 different covers for Dragon Quest X on Wii U. All of the discs are the same. It's just a cover variant, but there's one I'm missing. There's one more that released very late in the Wii U's life cycle. So as I showed you, they did all-in-one versions for 1 and 2, but then also versions 1 and 3 had an all-in-one package right here. I'm pretty sure, and someone, maybe if you somehow know more about Wii U than me, maybe you can comment, there is an all-in-one package that includes versions 1 through 4 on the Wii U. I'm pretty sure that exists. There's not much information on it. I'm pretty sure I've seen images of that on Google search though, but that one, who knows? I mean, it took me a long time to be able to find this one here. I've seen like disc-only copies of it pop up for some reason, but yeah, this one took forever to find, so I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to find the all-in-one versions 1 through 4. It's just something kind of fun to go for here, and now I have all of these different Dragon Quest games on the Wii U. Most of the spines are the same, but as you can see, I mean, the text is different, and I don't know. It's something silly to go for. I understand, like, if you're going for a full Wii U set, like, yeah, you don't need to count this. These are just variants. But I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun thing. And also, all that beautiful Akira Toriyama art is very cool to have on the Wii U and all these Wii U cases. So, yeah, very happy to finally add that to the collection. And hopefully in the near future, I can find the final version of that. And then finally, I bought this back in July. I've been meaning to show it in a pickups video. I think I also want to do a whole separate video on how stupid Nintendo collecting is and how stupid cardboard is, because Nintendo cardboard adds so much value to a thing. So I managed to get this. I saw it pop up for $150. That's already a lot of money. It goes for significantly more than that, but when I saw it pop up for $150, I was like, okay, worst case scenario, I buy this and I sell it, but obviously I haven't sold it yet because I'm just going to keep this. I'm a Nintendo fan. I want to have this. I'm a Pokemon fan. This goes for like $400-$500. Obviously, the person who posted it didn't really know what was going on, so I'll probably just end up keeping this because it's a very cool thing, and maybe I'll sell my regular copies. But this is the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire double pack on Nintendo 3DS, and the only difference is that it has this cardboard. That's it. That's the only reason this is so expensive. You can get Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire for like, I don't know, 35, 40 bucks each. Maybe it's gone up a little bit, but you can get them for about retail. This freaking cardboard makes the price of these games so outrageous. Now, you can snipe other copies. I actually saw, right after I bought this one, I saw another one go up for, I think, 200, which is still exorbitant, right? Like, that's ridiculous for cardboard. But, you can snag copies from people that just like look up, okay, I have these 2 games, I want to sell them, and then they see this and they're like, okay, well, together it should be like the same price. But no, Nintendo cardboard is absurd, and I mean, it's literally just the regular games in here. So I do have some extra copies of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire right now. I guess I'll probably sell off my standard copies and just keep this. But yeah, I mean, it's literally like, it's just the same thing, but including this little piece of paper as well, which, I mean, okay, you know, why not, I guess. It's so dumb. But I haven't actually popped these into a 3DS yet. I know Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire kind of had some issues with like save corruption, I believe. It'd be kind of fun to pop these in and maybe check if the previous owner had any Pokemon on there. But yeah, that is a major heavy hitter for the 3DS collection that I wasn't planning on buying, but I saw it pop up. I was doing my nightly looking up just, 3DS games, sorting by newest, and I saw that pop up and I was like, okay, I mean, for that price I might as well. But what an obscene Nintendo cardboard, man. It's just stupid, you know? But yeah, that is going to do it for today's pickups video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said at the top, if you enjoy these types of videos, I do genuinely really appreciate the support on these videos. Hitting like, that does help. Subscribing, that does help. Commenting even does help as well. Helps with the algorithm and all that. So really appreciate that. And of course, let me know in the comments down below, what have you added to your collections in the recent future? And what do you have? What are some recommendations for me? Obviously, I'm buying all these Switch games that who knows when I'll actually have time to play them. What do you think I should add to my collection? Maybe I've already bought it and you'll see it in a future video. Who knows? But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, subscribe here. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. Check out my Nintendo news channel at BoTalksGames as well. And until next time, folks, peace.